Hey there, science fans. Have you ever wondered what makes up every living thing on Earth? From the smallest ant to the tallest tree, it all comes down to tiny, amazing structures called cells. Think of cells like Lego blocks. Just like Legos can be put together to build all sorts of things, cells are the building blocks of all living organisms. Cells are like miniature factories bustling with activity. They have different parts that work together to keep the cell alive and functioning. Some parts help make energy, others store information, and some even help cells to reproduce. Understanding cells helps us understand life itself. So, put on your scientist hats and let's dive into the fascinating world of cells. Imagine a world so small that it's invisible to the naked eye. That's where cells live. We couldn't learn about cells until the invention of the microscope, a tool that allows us to see incredibly tiny objects by magnifying them. In the 1660s, a curious scientist named Robert Hooke used a simple microscope to examine a thin slice of cork. He noticed small, box-like compartments that reminded him of the rooms monks lived in, called cells. Little did he know he had just made a groundbreaking discovery, the first observation of cells. Hooke's discovery opened up a whole new world for scientists to explore. It was like discovering a new continent. People were amazed to find out that living things were made of these tiny units. Hooke's discovery of cells in the 17th century was groundbreaking. It paved the way for what we now call cell theory, which is a fundamental concept in biology. Cell theory is like the rulebook for how cells work and how they relate to all living things. It provides a framework for understanding the structure and function of every living organism. Cell theory has three main parts that are essential to our understanding of life. First, all living things are made up of cells. Think of any living organism, a dog, a flower, a mushroom, or even a human being. They are all made of cells, whether it's just one cell or trillions of cells working together in harmony. Second, the cell is the basic unit of life. Just like an atom is the basic unit of an element, the cell is the smallest unit that can carry out all the processes of life. This means that every function necessary for life happens within the cell. Cells can take in nutrients, get rid of waste, grow, and even reproduce. They are like tiny, self-sufficient factories. And third, all cells come from pre-existing cells. Cells don't just magically appear out of nowhere. They divide and create new cells, ensuring the continuation of life. This process is essential for growth, development, and healing. It's like a cell family tree that goes back billions of years, connecting all living organisms through a shared history of cellular division and replication. Let's go back to Robert Hooke, the rock star who first spotted those cork cells. Hooke wasn't even a biologist. He was a true Renaissance man, an architect, astronomer, and physicist, all rolled into one. His book, Micrographia, published in 1665, was a sensation. It was like the first ever photo book of the microscopic world, filled with detailed drawings of insects, plants, and, of course, those famous cork cells. Although Hooke's microscope was quite simple, his meticulous observations and detailed drawings laid the groundwork for future scientists to build upon. He's like the Christopher Columbus of the microscopic world, opening up new frontiers for exploration. Section 5, Schleiden, Schwann, and Virchow building blocks of cell theory. Fast forward a couple of centuries and we meet three more scientific heroes who helped solidify cell theory: Matthias Schleiden, Theodor Schwann, and Rudolf Virchow. These three scientists made groundbreaking discoveries that would forever change our understanding of biology and the fundamental unit of life. Schleiden, a botanist, someone who studies plants, realized that all the plants he examined were made up of cells. He meticulously observed various plant tissues and noticed a consistent cellular structure, leading him to conclude that cells are the building blocks of plant life. Schwann, a zoologist, someone who studies animals, independently came to the same conclusion about animals. He conducted similar studies on animal tissues and found that they too were composed of cells, mirroring Schleiden's findings in plants. It was like they were putting together a giant jigsaw puzzle, with Schleiden focusing on the plant pieces and Schwann on the animal pieces. Their collaborative efforts and shared insights were crucial in forming a unified theory. Together, they proposed that all living things are made of cells, a major leap forward in our understanding of life. This was a monumental step, as it provided a common framework for studying both plant and animal life. But what about that third tenet of cell theory, that all cells come from pre-existing cells? this concept was still a mystery that needed to be unraveled. That's where Rudolf Virchow comes in. He was a pioneering pathologist who made significant contributions to our understanding of cellular processes. He famously declared, "Omnis cellula et cellula," which is Latin for "all cells come from cells." This statement emphasized that new cells are produced by the division of existing cells, a fundamental principle in biology. Virchow's work helped dispel the old idea that life could arise spontaneously from non-living matter. His research provided the final piece of the puzzle, solidifying the cell theory as we know it today. Section 6. Cells, not just one size fits all. Plant cells versus animal cells. Just like there are different types of houses for different purposes, there are different types of cells with different structures and functions. Let's compare two main categories, plant cells and animal cells. Plant cells are like the sturdy houses of the cell world. They have a rigid cell wall made of cellulose which gives them their shape and support. Think of it like the cell's outer armor. Plant cells also have chloroplasts, those green organelles that capture sunlight and convert it into energy through photosynthesis. Animal cells, on the other hand, are more flexible and don't have a cell wall or chloroplasts. They are more like apartments in a bustling city, with various organelles working together to keep the cell running smoothly. Section 7. Cells, the ultimate building blocks. Now that we've met some key players in cell history and explored different types of cells, let's marvel at how these tiny units create the diversity of life we see around us. Imagine cells as individual bricks. You can stack them in countless ways to build a small house, a skyscraper, or even a magnificent castle. Similarly, cells can organize and specialize to form tissues, organs, and organ systems, ultimately creating a complete organism. For example, in our bodies, muscle cells contract and relax to enable movement, nerve cells transmit signals throughout our body, and blood cells carry oxygen to our tissues. Each cell type has a specific job to do, contributing to the overall function of the organism. Section 8. Why does cell theory matter? You might be thinking, okay, cells are cool and all, but why should I care about cell theory? Well, understanding cells and how they work is crucial for many reasons. For one, it helps us understand the basic principles of life. From the smallest bacterium to the largest whale, all living things share this fundamental unit of life. It's a unifying concept that connects all living organisms on Earth. Cell theory also has practical applications in various fields such as medicine, agriculture, and biotechnology. For example, understanding how cells grow and divide is essential for developing cancer treatments. Knowing how plant cells function helps us develop better crops and ensure food security. Section 9. Cells, a universe within. As we delve deeper into the world of cells, we realize that they are not just simple building blocks. They are incredibly complex and dynamic systems. Each cell is like a bustling city with its own transportation networks, power plants, recycling centers, and even a library of genetic information. Exploring the inner workings of a cell is like taking a journey through a microscopic universe. There are organelles responsible for energy production, protein synthesis, waste disposal, and communication with other cells. The more we learn about cells, the more we realize how much more there is to discover. Section 10. The future of cell research. What's next? The study of cells is an ongoing journey of discovery, and scientists are constantly making new breakthroughs that deepen our understanding of life itself. From developing new imaging techniques to manipulating cells for therapeutic purposes, the future of cell research is brimming with possibilities. One exciting area of research is stem cell therapy, which holds the potential to treat a wide range of diseases by replacing damaged or diseased cells with healthy ones. Another promising field is synthetic biology, where scientists are engineering cells with new capabilities, such as producing biofuels or detecting environmental pollutants. Section 11. Cells, the building blocks of life. As we've journeyed through the world of cells from their initial discovery to the frontiers of modern research, one thing is clear: cells are the fundamental units of life as we know it. These tiny structures, often invisible to the naked eye, hold the secrets to understanding the very essence of living organisms. They are the building blocks that make up every living organism on Earth, from the simplest bacteria to the most complex animals. Each cell, regardless of its simplicity or complexity, plays a crucial role in the grand tapestry of life. Understanding cells is not just about memorizing facts, It's about appreciating the elegance and complexity of life itself. Each cell is a miniature world bustling with activity, where countless processes occur simultaneously to sustain life. By studying cells, we gain insights into the processes that make life possible, the interconnectedness of living organisms, and the vast potential for future discoveries. This knowledge not only deepens our appreciation for life but also drives innovations in medicine, environmental science, and biotechnology. So the next time you marvel at the diversity of life around you, take a moment to appreciate the trillions of tiny cells working tirelessly behind the scenes, carrying out the symphony of life. These microscopic powerhouses are the unsung heroes, orchestrating the complex dance of existence.